Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is so good to see you here for another Cuppa with Carys. Let's get into today's video because I am actually really excited to be talking about what I'm talking about. It was never a plan for me to talk about this, but to be honest, given the absolute roller coaster that we had last week, I feel like we need to address some things as girls. Last week we celebrated International Women's Day, then the whole Meghan Markle thing happened and Prince Harry, the Oprah interview, which I'm not going to go into. Then in the news we had everything happen with Sarah Evarads, and that is just such a horrible situation, and my heart honestly goes out to her family. That should never happen to a person, and my heart goes out to you, and my prayers and my deepest condolences. And then we celebrated Mother's Day, and so when we're talking about an absolute roller coaster of a week, we went from celebrating women to highlighting some of the issues that we deal with, to then celebrating motherhood and all the amazing things that come with that. Like, I just felt like I really wanted to just speak about a couple of things that I'm really passionate about. I don't want to come on here to share any opinions or anything like that, but you know, we have all of this girl talk on YouTube sometimes where we talk about girls and we talk about how we are, but sometimes I think it's really good to have somebody just come and encourage us and build us up, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to talk or give my opinion on anything to do with Meghan Markle or anything to do with men or put any men down, because as much as I have incredible women in my life, I also have incredible men in my life that I couldn't actually do what I do without. And so as much as I'm like power to the girls, and that is part of who I am so about raising strong women, giving women a platform, giving them leadership, giving them responsibility, giving them equality and everything else. Like, that is something I'm so passionate about. But equally, I'm so passionate about men succeeding, and my husband and marriage and all of that good stuff too. Before we jump in the video, I just want to show you something really cute, because it wouldn't actually be a Cuppa with Carys if before we got serious I showed you something, because literally, look at this. How cute is that? My mum and me, a dream team. Honestly, I nearly cried. Obviously Solomon didn't write it, but you know when you actually realise what you actually do as a mother, honestly, hats off to you ladies. Anyway, less about all of that and more about actually what we're here to enjoy a cup of tea over. So let me just get comfy, because I just totally uncomfortable myself. Grab yourself a cup of tea and let's jump in. For me, okay, like, I have always been brought up in an environment, like, fair play to my parents. They have never told us we can and can't do things. Maybe my sister will come and share a cuppa with me in the future and actually talk about how she was brought up, because she was very tomboy and my parents just totally let her walk around looking like Rey Mysterio. Honestly, that was the situation, and people genuinely thought I had a brother because she was so boyish in the way that she was, and they just let her be her. And you know, now she plays football for Wales and is living her dream and is totally living her best life. And same with my sister Sarah and me. Like, we were all raised to do exactly what we want to do. Like, we were never told that we can't do something. Obviously, I don't mean that in a way that we weren't disciplined, because when I tell you we were disciplined, we were disciplined. The naughty chair was a member of our family. Even my mother in herself was a huge career woman. Like, she worked in the bank, which is a very male dominated workspace, and like a lot of the stuff that she experienced, like outrageous stuff really. You know, we have a great role model in both my mum and my dad, and I think that's something really important. And I totally understand that not everybody actually has that, and I guess that's what brings me to maybe something that I really want to talk about, is actually having good role models, women, female, strong role models in your life. I look at them in terms of parenting. I look at them in terms of their marriage and how they deal with their marriage. I look at them in terms of how they deal with their job, how they deal with their career. I don't think it needs to be one person for all things, but I think when you do have like role models in your life, not that you want to be them, but it's a good thing to see what can you actually learn from them. I guess it's really good to have like the positive people in your life, because it's so easy to fall down an identity trap, I think, sometimes, of who am I, who do I want to be. As women, like, we experience a lot of huge things, don't we? We fall down that trap sometimes of comparison, and even when it comes to being a mum, like, you compare your parenting to someone else's, or how you're thriving once you've given birth and postpartum, and even in jobs, she's thriving a lot more than me. You do massively compare us as women. Having good role models in your life help you understand elements of who you want to be, not from a place of I'm going to copy or I'm going to be like that, because that is never going to work. But I think it's really good to take positive things from people. There's a woman in my life who I love how she celebrates her kids on birthdays. Like, she literally lets the kids choose the theme of the day. It might be superheroes or dinosaurs, and literally they're having breakfast out of diggers. Like, this is the levels that she goes to, and it is incredible. And I'm like, that's something that I want to take from with me in my parenting. I want to celebrate my kids so well. So it's good to have like different role models in your life that you take different things from, not because I want to be that person, but because there's elements of what they do that I really love. On that note of trying to be somebody, I think that you become the best version of yourself when you learn to love yourself, I think. And that's such, like, literally, isn't it, like the most cliche thing in the world? Like, honestly, when people tell you, oh yeah, you just need to love yourself, you just want to go, ugh, what, why? But to be honest, it's true. And I don't think that you need to like everything about yourself. Like, I think that's where people go a bit wrong, is when they think that they have to like everything about themselves. I don't like everything about myself, but that doesn't mean that I can't love myself, because there's an element of myself that I don't like. I think that the bottom line of loving yourself is when you get to a place where actually you're content. If you keep striving for things, you're never going to live in contentment. And I honestly think that being content with who you are and what you are, it is the most important thing. I don't think for 1 minute that, you know, we have easy as women. We experience some huge struggles. We experience some massive glass ceilings. We experience some massive inequalities. And I just want to say, though, on that note, that it is getting better. Like, honestly, it is. I'm not saying that it is where it needs to be at all. Like, there's still a long way to go, but equally we have come a long, long way. You know, we get to vote now. We get to do all the things that we never used to be able to do. You get to have maternity. Like, you know, there's a lot of things that we can't control, though. Like some of the stuff I've just talked about there, the inequalities, like, we actually can't control that. Like, a lot of it sits with other people and other opinions. For me, anyway, I'm like, if I'm the best version of me that I can be, at least I'm on the winning side. Being a secure girl gets you a long way, because you don't care about other opinions. You don't care about what people think, because you know that that doesn't define you. And I know that's a lot easier said than done. Like, even for me in my life, like, that's been a huge journey for me. I've copied people before. I have wanted to be people before. I've lived my life through other people's eyes almost before, in trying to be cool and popular. And, you know, only have I actually achieved full happiness by actually being myself, living my best life, having my kid, like, being married and doing all of the stuff that, like, people my age maybe wouldn't usually do. But for me, that's the stuff that's helped, like, shape me and define me and make me who I am. And that's where I've got my confidence, like, in just accepting and being content and being happy with who I am and what I've got. I know that identity and confidence and self-love is something that we do struggle with. And I don't know if that's even something, like, that's in our DNA, or that's in, like, our hormones, or whatever the heck else we've got going on. But all I do know is that actually it's a huge, huge deal for girls to love themselves and accept themselves and be confident in who they are. I think it's so important to walk in your shoes, and don't be looking to the right or to the left. Don't be comparing, don't be looking anywhere, but actually, what do you want? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? I think, like, you can only really compare yourself to the person that you were yesterday, and if you're better than what you was yesterday, then you're winning. When you have a strength about you and a dignity about you and a respect about you and a self-love about you, I think you do tolerate less in your own life. I look back at some of the things that I used to tolerate when I was younger, just because I didn't really love myself in that way. I didn't really have respect for myself in that way. And so it just led me to places and situations that, like, I should never have been in. Like, because I just didn't think that I was, not that I was worth more. I always knew that I was worth a lot, but you know, when you're just like, oh, I'll just go with it because, like, it makes them happy. I think if you really love yourself, you understand that, like, you are worth so much more than their opinion, or you're worth so much more than their happiness. You know what I mean? Like, because your happiness and your worth and your life trumps everything. Will it change a lot of the stuff that's happened in the news in the last week? I don't think so. No, it won't. But does it change actually a lot of your future? Absolutely, because you can do more, you can be more, because you're secure in who you are. And if you fail, it's fine, because you still know who you are. And if you succeed, then great, that's amazing, you still know who you are. And literally whatever life throws at you, it's like, I'm sweet because I know who I am, I know where I'm going, and I know my identity. And for me, right, like honestly, I find so much of that in like Jesus. Like a lot of you know, like I am such a woman of faith. I literally could not do my life without God. There's a lot in this world that will make you feel like a girl. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of things that will make you feel inferior. There's a lot of things that will make you feel like you're not worth it. There'll be a lot of things that make you feel that you're smaller or less valued or less appreciated. But I think, you know, for us, we just need to be on it with our securities. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be the boldest, most loudest, most proudest person in the room. I know people who are so quietly confident. It is amazing. And I'm not saying that confidence looks like that. Confidence doesn't look like walking into the room and going, oh, hey, I'm owning it. Do you get what I'm saying? Confidence just looks like I'm secure in who I am. Like you can tell me whatever, but I know who I am. You can comment on my outfit, but I'm sweet because I love it. Do you get what I mean? That's confidence. That is the most powerful thing that we can be as women, is just secure in who we are. Honestly, if you have actually been affected by a lot of the stuff that's happened recently, like in the news and things like that, like please speak to people. Look at Meghan Markle, like, you know, she's a freaking princess and she struggled with mental health. Like, do you get what I mean? Hits us all. It literally hits us all. Especially during lockdown. Like, honestly, I think everybody's mental health has been shattered by this whole thing. My biggest advice with everything that's happened lately, literally just do you. Because if you just live your life and be who you are, you can't go far wrong wherever you are, whether you're the most confident person in the world, whether you're the most insecure, shy, quiet person in the world. The bottom line is you are so valued, you are so worth it, you are so incredible, you are so beautiful, you are so amazing, you are so loved, even if sometimes you don't feel that way. Like literally that is the truth. And there are so many things like in our worlds, in our lives that want to rob us from that, but hold on to that though, because that is exactly who you are. You're a loved person who deserves to be here, who has a great life ahead of them. Find who you are, love who you are, appreciate who you are, get confidence from who you are, stop comparing, and just literally, I'm gonna say it, love yourself. But yeah, that is my 2 pence. I ain't got a lot to say. I say this, I've been here for probably about 40 minutes, but do you get what I mean? Like I could literally talk on this for ages because I actually love it. And there was no structure at all to this because it is a Cuppa with Carys. Like if you were sat in my front lounge, this is exactly what I would probably say to you. I'm like, yeah, this is a bit of me, like literally, do you get what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just gonna round it off there because otherwise, guys, we'll be here till next International Women's Day or next Mother's Day. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Like, I don't even know if you've made it this far. If you've made it this far, congrats to you. Join me again for another Cuppa with Carys. I literally love filming these videos because I just get to waffle for time. Please follow me on Instagram and subscribe to this channel. It honestly means the world to me. But yeah, have a fantastic week, guys, and I'll see you next time for another cup of tea.